Support for this podcast comes from the patrons at patreon.com/FMLFPL. Okay, welcome to FMLFPL on.
This Walsh.
That's me like trying so hard not to scream, but trying to make it nice anyway.
COVID on.
I have a throat full
strikes.
of COVID.
Yeah. No screaming
Can't be
when you
screaming.
have COVID. No.
Can't be screaming.
It'll set you back days.
That's basically the only line that's been drawn. It's just don't scream.
Don't scream. So
So
what do we got going today, baby?
Game week 16 pod, live stream tomorrow. Then I think we have a basically normal week next week, right?
Normal week next week.
Oh my God. Thank fucking God. Normal week.
Friday
and then
game,
another
though.
chaotic week. Oh, Friday.
Oh, no. That's in... Yeah,
It is.
Friday
It
game.
is Friday
Yeah,
deadline.
yeah.
It is Friday deadline.
Yeah.
God damn it. I mean,
That'll
at
be the
least...
first game. And NFL are going to have new manager bounce that game.
Lopetegui.
Who knows? Someone.
Yeah. Maybe Spurs leak will be relevant. I don't know. Who
Yeah, I
knows?
don't
Who
know.
cares? Terrible.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, man.
This fucking
Crazy
game,
week,
man.
dude. Crazy midweek pile up nutsness.
It's so dumb.
It's horrible. The quality of games goes down. The injuries go skyrocket.
Yeah.
The flags are up.
Yeah.
How's your
Yeah.
team looking?
Dog shit, as usual. 33 points. What can we say?
I haven't
here?
even looked at your team.
Yeah, it's just pathetic. Thank God I did that Palmer move. Holy fucking shit. If I didn't do that, I'd be
Oh my
on
God. Doku to Palmer with
25 or something.
5 minutes left on the...
Yeah. If I
And the
didn't
deadline.
check, and I was like, should I check? Should I open my computer? Because I had I think I had 4
I DM'd
minutes.
you.
Yeah, but I was at work. So I think I had 4 minutes. I was about to just go to the bathroom, and I was like, oh, let me just do a cheeky little, see what's going on. And I was like, oh my God. And I didn't go
Was
to the
it my
bathroom.
message that you saw?
Yeah. And I was like,
Yeah, I was
Doku,
in bed
fuck.
on my phone, COVID out
Yeah.
my ass,
And
just
I
seeing
checked
people be like,
the-
Doku not in team, Doku out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God,
and then I
please.
looked at the clock, and it was 3 minutes before the deadline. I was like, oh no. I was like, so we got there.
But that was +7 because you would have got Circus Chaz Taylor, I guess, in. So
Yeah,
+7
big
is
plus.
fucking huge.
big plus. But I
But
didn't.
very
I could have
low-scoring
dialed
week.
it. Yeah, I could have dialed it up. I had some other really big spicy hits on the cards, but I just was like, let me just get Palmer, forget it.
Yeah.
And then
And he scored
my
nothing
other
play.
one of my favorite players, Boomo, got fucking finished fatality, finish him. So now I
Got
had
you
that
the
one,
points.
so.
At
Did
least
he?
he got you the points.
Did he get me the points?
Yeah,
When I
he
have
got
to
you
give them
got you a
back.
pen.
I give them right back. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
But
Fuck it.
very low scoring week overall.
Yeah.
35.7 among
Yeah,
the
it's
elite
just
teams.
the Trents and the Trent Knots, I guess.
Yeah, basically. I don't even know who else scored points. I mean, I don't have
Palmer.
Boomo, so I got 31.
Yeah.
Palmer first on my bench, but I got a POW auto sub, which is just hilarious.
Forget about it. Better to be lucky than good on that one for sure.
POW just doesn't clean against fucking Bournemouth,
Anyone.
Spurs, Fulham, NFO, Luton,
Anyone, dude.
West Ham, Wolves, Brighton. Gets me an auto sub clean against Man
Against
City.
City.
He's been
Yeah.
great for
Dude,
me, though.
your auto subbing this year has been best of your actual FPL career.
It turns out if you have good players on your bench, you sometimes get lucky auto subs. Right? I mean, I have Palmer 8-pointer on my bench who didn't auto sub, but just another good player. I bench a good attacker every single week, and I have good defenders. So,
Well, Pow against City is not a good defender, but so
but
the cookie
he's
crumbles.
a good player.
Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
sometimes get lucky in that regard. I don't even remember what the transfer is that I'm. Oh, Dubrav +1,
Best
easy
pick in-
+1.
best pick in
Johnstone
the game.
fucking out of my team.
I told you, man.
Johnson's a 1 or a 9. Dubrav's a fucking. Dubrav is a 2 or a 3. And I got a 2 this week.
Johnson's there are no 9s in his future. He's a fucking 1. I told you, man. We are all sorts.
Yeah, that was
We're
an ugly,
fucked.
ugly highlights package to watch right before we recorded.
Yeah, we are fucked, man.
Yeah, not looking good for Palace. And Roy with some fucking weird comments. What the hell was that?
Maybe his senility is starting to infest his brain.
Jesus
He's just
Christ.
the actual worst. It's insane. I'm done watching Palace. I think I watched 10 minutes of the game and I had double screen and I didn't put my team on. I'm not watching this anymore unless if it's a solo game for the rest of the year until Roy gets killed. Or
Yeah, I mean, you're watching Palace Liverpool solo game.
if it's the only game on, I'll watch it, but I'm not honoring a screen in my house with this team. They're not trying. There's no point.
Yeah.
So I'm done with that. So
Dark times for Palace. Shout out to the December Mug League leader so far, Sebastian Spinetta, aka Bone Seekers in first. Second place, Zach Dewitt, aka Waffle Mafia 5.0. And third place, Anders Herzvek, aka Salah Snack Bar. And shout out to the leader of the Public League, Dan Carrillo, who I'm pretty sure is a Patreon, unless there's just another Dan Carrillo, which seems pretty unlikely, but he's not in the fucking Mug League.
There are dozens of them.
He's not in the Mug League. He's just in the Public League. So I don't know what the fuck you're doing, Dan, but you're 300 rank overall. So keep doing what you're doing, I guess.
He's playing good FPL. That's what he's
maybe
doing.
the pressure of a mug has been holding him back all these years, and now he's free from the mug, and he's just flying. Let's start with Bumo, I guess.
Oh my god.
He's fucked.
Yeah,
Brentford are fucked.
They're non-functioning.
They have so many injuries. There's no chance they put in a good performance, I feel like, at this point.
Luckily, they have a blank.
They do have a blank soon. And Tony's back pretty soon. And there's zero chance of relegation this year. So
when is it over?
Really nice. I think January.
Just January 1, he's just back?
Or I don't know, but somewhere in January. January 16th, it says on the Premier Injuries thing.
Well,
but there's only like 2 game weeks in January.
They played December 30th, and then their next game is January 20th.
Yeah, so basically Jan 1.
Nice.
I don't know, maybe they have a cup or something, but they'll be back soon. But for now, they're fucking hard to avoid.
Yeah.
And, we got a lot of questions about potential replacements. I mean...
Yeah.
I don't think it's even worth reading out all these questions. I mean, the guys. It's basically Gordon, Wang, Palmer are like the chalk. And then the puntier guys that people are asking about are sort of Raz, McSauce, Bowen / Kudus, Brennan, Doug Louise.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot to go.
Garnacho.
We have a lot to talk about here, I think. So where do you want to start with all these guys?
Well, let's start with the chalky guys. I mean, Gordon, you could have gotten 4 Newcastle players into your team. You decided not to get 4 Newcastle players in your team and go for Palmer. So explain that decision. How'd you come to that conclusion?
It's tough. I mean, you kept telling me to get Gordon. Every 12 hours, every 12 hours, you would tell me get Gordon, and I'm blaming
COVID.
I still couldn't do it.
I'm blaming COVID, dude. It rotted my brain. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I feel like each one of these players, and then the larger context of their team, is like they all have significant issues and also significant benefits. I think, right? It's Gordon. I think would be top of the pile.
Yeah.
The away is not just a concern, though. I mean, I feel like if you can bench, you want to. While they're not fully fit, because it's not just, maybe it's going to be this away performance that's better. I mean, they got fucking destroyed today against Everton. They could have lost
bad. They were
6-0.
so bad. Yeah.
And
I thought they were better second half. Gordon really could have got points second half, but first half was they're lucky right now to go in 0-0 at half. Very lucky to go in 0-0 at half.
Yeah, I mean, Everton did the thing where they kind of play in phases of the game, and they were all over them, swarming for the first half hour, and then they kind of just stopped for a little while, and then then the second half they also sort of didn't come out doing much, and then they started piling up more on at the end of the game, right? But in those little bit of lulls, you see Gordon, right? He's clearly in and around every good action that they do.
Yeah.
And when you're comparing him to players on, Wolves, etc., it's a good team to be on. Almiron's a real big problem, though. I mean, he's back to just being who he thought he was. And when you play with two attackers plus Almiron, it's a big issue, because he kills everything. So they do need to get fit. But all that said, though, they do have the Spurs game next, which at Spurs will be tricky. But then they have home Fulham, at Luton, home NFO, which, you imagine there are points there. So I feel like Gordon's just been good, should continue to be good, is only 6'1", is just good, right? He's just a good pick.
Yeah. And they play the late game on Sunday. They need every fucking minute of rest they can possibly get. So that can't hurt them. That can only help them. And, honestly, like Spurs, I talked about this, I feel like 2 weeks ago in terms of some of their aways, but like away Spurs weirdly is one of the better away games for a team like Newcastle, probably, who are playing badly and need teams to give chances to them, which Spurs just can't help but do. I mean, they just will back pass it to you, bounce it off two players to you, give you as many fucking free runs at their goal as you want, especially second half of every game. Isak, I don't know, Miggy's going to fuck up 50% of those, but the other 50% will be split between Isak and Gordon. Fine. If you just look in a vacuum of the next four, I think Newcastle probably have the best fixtures in the league. So, I mean, there's a reason he's chalk, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and then Palmer is a clear second for me in this replacement list. His fixture run extends even longer.
Way longer.
And obviously everyone is more than a little bit concerned of the performance they had at Old Trafford. They got completely disassembled, which was a surprise for all to see. Poch, maybe we'll come on to that at some point later in the pod. I don't
we have more Chelsea stuff later, so we'll get there.
But just with Palmer, I mean, he's just classy, right?
He's so good.
He's
actually so good.
Yeah, his finish was good. His passing is, it's not as...
It wasn't perfect.
It should be better for his quality, I think. But it does seem like he is still in that phase of pressing. Like he's trying to win the game by himself every game he plays and trying to prove himself too much. Like I do want to I feel like he needs to just chill and relax and be like, dude, this is your spot. Like just fucking chill, dude. But it's tough when you're playing with N. Jackson and Mudryk. You give them the ball, the fucking thing's over. So that's an aggravation, right? But I don't know. It's just he's 5'4". We think he's going to have pens we don't know about when Nkunku's back. He's not going to be back for a little while still, it looks like. But he's just great. Like everything goes through him and, he's going to be close to the goal every time. So he's just... that's why getting him, I was like, it didn't feel great for me getting him this past week. I mean, I spent time thinking about getting him within other moves, but ultimately it just felt like I'm paddling upstream by not owning him because he does tick every box you want from an FPL midfielder, pretty much, except for corners, I guess. He doesn't take corners, right?
That's basically what it comes down to. Is he's an incredible pick especially for his price. Just unbelievable, ticks every box, like you said. But the other thing that I think is guiding a lot of team construction right now is we need money. Every defender in the game is bad except Trent and Trips, and we're all trying to get there, and none of us have enough money. We're all 4 million short of getting both of those players, right? And it just becomes, it's there's a reason every team seems to be getting Palmer, and it's not just that he's a good pick, but it's everyone's going downgrade to Palmer so I can afford so-and-so on the other side of things with all these injuries and whatnot, and every defender being bad. It's just he just is really, really good. Yeah.
And it shows you too, right? The performance of the team was horrendous, and he does that one moment where he just slots Odegaard, and you're like, oh, this
Beautiful.
is great.
Beautiful goal.
And he was, he
gets
could
a
have
bonus.
had an assist. Yeah, got a bonus.
Gets a bonus in a game where they could have conceded fucking 8 goals to Man United. Got absolutely fucking stomped. And he gets a bonus.
Yeah. I mean, but I mean, that's probably why he got a bone, because all of the Man United players missed all the chances, so they're bad. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah,
but
fair.
yeah, I mean, he's should be good on bones, and he has been good on bones because he creates chances and he doesn't shoot that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's good. And what are you seeing with Wang? He's 5'7" now.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about him. What was that, like 2 weeks ago or something?
Weeks
where
ago.
we were like, we're not giving him enough credit. Like, he really has been good, best numbers of his career. He's actually getting chances. Now we know he's on pens, right? And the Burnley goal is like, what that's just Burnley things. That's just how company sets his team up, and those accidents happen, and Wang takes advantage. But it wasn't great. Definitely wasn't like a great performance where I'm like, wow, Wolves really put it to them and have a lot of goals.
They were terrible.
They were fucking awful. They basically played
horrible.
Even with the
they were
third
for
worst
large
team
stretches.
in the league.
Yeah, they were worse for large stretches.
Large stretches. And so, home NFO is still good. He is still on 4 yellows. He does still have the Asian Cup coming up soon, which Balfsky and Shots asked about that. I mean, those are dings. I mean, you could fucking dogface your way to having 4 yellows and just last for like 20 game weeks and never get a suspension. But also with the Asian Cup where you're guaranteed out, I mean, you're kind of just booking a transfer, which you're booking a transfer of a player that isn't that good.
It's a bad pick.
It's just like, doesn't make sense.
He's just a bad pick. Yeah, he's just a bad pick right now. If you've already gotten him, then you obviously hold him. But he's not even remotely close to a buy. I mean, I was really startled by the performance against Burnley.
Yeah, they were bad.
It was straight up. They couldn't even get a shot. They couldn't even get a shot. They couldn't get in the fucking other half. I mean, it was ridiculous. I'm watching this game thinking, that would be more or less one-way traffic, as every Burnley game I've seen all year has been, and they're just playing at home worse than Burnley. And
they've kind of been that kind of team, though. I mean, where they like play up against the good teams, play down to the bad teams.
Yeah, but that doesn't help us.
I wouldn't go as far to say he's a bad pick, right? He still has 5 games before the Asian Cup. 3 of them are home NFL, home Chelsea, home Everton. I don't care. Those are good fixtures.
If he plays them all.
Well, yeah, right. If he picks up a yell at a wrong time, you're fucked. But at West Ham, also incredible fixture. They're a fucking joke defensively. The one like definitely bad one is at Brentham, and like how definitely bad is it when they don't have Bumo or any of their best players?
Well, I mean, I don't see it similarly, because I would have sat here and said home Burnley, definitely good fixture. And I watched, I was like, this is definitely the worst Wolves performance I've seen all year. So
it wasn't good.
When I see this list, I mean, like you're saying, there's 5 games, 4 yellows. That is maybe enough to rule him out, because if he's going to miss one of the next 5 games, which is it's hard to play 5 games and not get a yellow card.
Especially the way the league is now.
Yeah.
Like, you just accidentally kick the ball away. It's just you're fucking fucked.
Or intentionally, either way. But yeah, it's just, he just has a lot of...
That's probably fair. Yeah.
He has a lot of issues. I just don't see how you're going this, like, down to this level on the list. Because if I'm looking at him, then I'm like, well, who's also punty and fun? Because... there are some guys like that too. Yeah,
there are plenty of guys like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to talk about McSauce. That's a waste of time. I think a name also that wasn't mentioned. Yeah, come on, enough with this.
Is it a waste of time?
Yeah. What do you think about?
He is such a weird player. He's such a donger.
All right, are you done?
He's just like one of the worst midfielders you've ever seen in your life. And for some weird set of skill combination, he's actually, the one thing he's actually good at is getting shots, getting goals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He's in form.
Yeah.
You could go there. Home Bournemouth.
Okay. Yeah. Great pick. I think Bailey is putting his name forward, because
he's been good.
I mean, the last 2 games he's been the best player on the pitch.
Yeah.
Probably would be a little bit. I don't know if he could afford to. I mean, it feels like he can't start a 3rd game in the week, and also it feels like he has to start him because it's Arsenal.
Yeah, and that's kind of every player you're buying this week, right? I mean, you're not buying anyone who hasn't been starting. Yeah,
I just mean more for I thought he should have subbed him 20 minutes before he even did in the City game. He was like so gassed. I couldn't believe he scored the goal. He found the legs for that. But I mean, he's 5'5", and it looks like he's finally realized that Matus Cassius is one of the worst Polish footballers that has ever played in the entire universe of the world. And Bailey's making that spot his own, it seems like right now. And they have like home Sheffield, home Burnley coming up in the near term. I think he's an interesting one. I think he's like a post type guy. I haven't looked
at him, to be honest, but
yeah.
I mean, well, right now you buy him right now before home Arsenal at Brentham.
I think it depends because like your hand might be getting forced, right? You have to do a move for Bumo, so you have to look a little more than just this game week. And I mean, we just saw him playing against City, and they were insane.
They fucking annihilated City.
I know they didn't have Rodri, but I mean, he's a counter guy anyway, so I think the fixtures like don't matter as much. It's more just, is he playing and does he look, decent? And the answer is yes.
One third of Jack.
Is 1/3 of Jack. You can't forget that. So I think Bailey's is a guy that's, very under the radar kind of, if you're looking for someone like that. That is interesting to me.
Points per start in the entire FPL landscape. Number 3, Haaland, 7.5. Number 2, Mo, 7.6. Number 1, Leon Cunting Bailey, 7.8. In the entire fucking league.
I love when you can cherry pick a noisy stat to benefit my argument.
I'm just pulling him up to like see what he's up to because he hasn't been on my radar at all, to be honest. I mean, the way he like started the season, it was like you said with the cash stuff. It was like, is he even? He's barely even an attacker at some points earlier in the season. It's like he's kind of a auxiliary right back, sort of a tweener,
wingback, fullback. I don't know what.
Yeah, but it does seem like, I mean, he had 5 shots for City, he had 2 shots for Bournemouth, his last 2 starts. I mean, he's getting more forward. He's getting more chances. He's getting the shots that everyone who brought in Cash after like game week 3 was hoping Cash was going to get, and then he didn't get any of those chances.
Yeah.
So, that's a shout.
Yeah, I think
what about the West Ham guys, though? I mean, you were all over Bowen pre-Bowen gate.
It feels incredible to have no involvement or investment in this team, honestly. It feels so good.
But Bowen is still really good.
But you just watch them play, and they don't influence or do anything. They literally do nothing the whole game, and it's just at the sheer will of the enemy to dictate what ends up happening. They just show up. Like they show up at the game.
That game. What the hell was that game?
I don't know. But I mean, it's kind of been like that for a while. I know they've won a few games here. They're in a good patch. They've played really bad teams and shit.
Yeah.
But I just like Bowen again playing straight. He had Kudus playing in the middle for a little while. Bowen was back on the right. But I mean, the goal, it's like whatever. I mean, I know there was that the second goal. He was like right there, but they don't create anything. Like they don't do fucking shit.
They don't attack.
They don't do anything.
Yeah.
So it's just not having it. And I know he's obviously his goal is 9 goals, and he's missing game
he's in
even.
form. Personally,
it just doesn't.
The team is just like
it's just watch. It's like he scores a goal in spite of every other thing that's happening, and they clearly don't give a fuck about the league. Like they just don't care.
But are we doing that thing where we're both way too negatively biased against a player because the team is boring and barely creates, even though the individual pick is
I don't think so.
Putting up best numbers of his career and donging every fucking game?
I think I just don't see it as very sustainable. I feel like when I watch, it's just he's getting away with it. That's what it feels like to me. And when Antonio was back, he was a lot better. Like I think there were a lot more legs there. But I think with Antonio out, the way they look is really just non-functioning. And they're set up to try and not concede. They concede every game, and then somehow win on the counter. I mean, I don't know what they're doing.
They literally park a double-decker bus every game and concede every game.
It's fucking insane.
Fucking unbelievable what they are up to.
But
I still think Bowen's a pick. I still think he's a pick.
No, he's definitely a pick. But I mean, he's 7'6". I'm just trying to see, is he a buy right now? And I I can't get behind that. I
His
just feel like
numbers continue to be very good. I mean, his shots have gone down a bit since he's been like center forward. He's not as good at center forward as he is just, off a forward on the right. But he's still getting a lot of XG, and he's scored in 3 of the last 4. Like he's just in really good finishing form, like he was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And like he couldn't fucking finish a goddamn thing last season. Hard to bet against that. I mean, you see at Fulham, home Wolves next to him. Those are fucking bankers, and I feel like
he's no
always
banker for them. They're gonna park. They're gonna go.
Yeah,
to
they're gonna park, but
park.
there's gonna be space to counter against those teams, And then it's the same in the quote unquote like big 7, big 8 games. Home Man United. Okay, at Arsenal is bad. Home Brighton. Like I feel like Bowen scores in those kind of games.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't like it.
I'm not really stumping for him ahead of the other picks we've already talked about, but there's just like, it's a weird thing where there's no team that has Gordon, has Palmer, and has Bumo, and needs to get the next guy down the list. I feel like, right? I mean, like,
yeah, that is the thing. It's like, what are the teams that are putting Bowen in? I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe those teams exist. I just don't feel like I've seen them. Most of them are missing one of those guys, or they don't have like Saka, and it's like, well, if you don't have Saka and you're getting rid of Bumo, just like find a way to get Saka or something like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like all these fun punts are cool, and in a normal season, I would be like all over this, but it just seems like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Bowen is, I don't know. I'm very, and having him, I mean, it was very aggravating, like owning him for as long as I did. And it was nice when he would pop up with his goal somehow. But generally just watch him, just like, what? Like, why do I have this guy? Like, what's happening here? Like, why am I, what is this team doing? Like, why do I have any of their players kind of thing? So,
and he's just been red hot. I mean, he's way over his XG. Obviously, you have to be if you're on that team with 9 goals.
Yeah. So
the thing that I will say about what I was just talking about is like, what team is even getting these players? Is that like, I think we both kind of agreed that like, Palmer and Gordon are very obvious. They're obvious for a reason. They tick every box. Yada yada yada. I also don't think they're like, if you don't get either of these players, you're fucking ridiculous and stupid kind of picks.
Not at all.
Right?
Not
like
at all.
these are not like fucking, we're not talking about like Mo and Haaland here. We're talking about fucking piss hair Anthony Gordon and penis haircut Cole Palmer. Like if you want to fuck them off and get Raz because you have a feeling that Raz is going to haul and they're good fixtures, get Raz. Like
I'm glad
no problem with that at all.
No, I'm glad you're making that point. I mean, let's back up and say, what are we doing right now? We're ranking mid-price midfielders.
We're ranking how pieces of shit by how stinky they are. It's like, this one's not that stinky, but it's not stinky because it dried up already. Like, that one's really stinky. It's a fresh poop. I don't know. It's complicated. Like, all of these guys are liable to blank 4 out of the next 5. And we would just be like, well, they're 5 million. They fucking suck. And they're on bad teams. Weird.
Yeah, and more to the point is like, well, Bowen's a different category, but I mean, going down, the price does dictate who you get largely, because this is a make weight spot now, right? If you're not going up to someone that you really miss, which Bowen is not going to ever fit that category from the Bumo replacement,
right.
You're getting the freedom of money to put it somewhere else. So that's going to make your decision too.
Right. And I think that's also, back to just Palmer really quick. I mean, that's another reason why, that's another box that he ticks, right? He's the cheapest of all of these. And he has the longest run of just like hold. And he's on pens. Him and Wang are the only one on pens in this in this group too. So
we're not 1,000,000% on Wang. It could still be Cunha.
Yeah, I mean, we're not 1,000,000% on Palmer once Nkuku's back, I guess. But like, probably he hasn't missed one. So
yeah, I mean, Raz, I don't know. He's 7. I mean, these are the things where it just like, he just doesn't really shoot. I mean, I've been saying that for a little while, right? With him, of like, he just isn't shooting. So that's an issue. Like, he looks like a very important player for them in the games. And also he can just very happily stay over in like the right channel the whole
Yeah,
game.
the right side is kind of
nothing
killed
or whatever.
him. I mean, he literally has 0 shots in the last 2 games. And those are the 2 games where he's just permanently on the right. Because
What are you,
Mudryk
soccer or
has to be in the team. Yeah, basically. But like all the other games before that, when he was kind of left, a little bit central, able to cut in and whatnot, he was their best attacker every game. They're most likely to score every game. And he kind of lost a little bit of that. But at the same time, I mean, if you're Chelsea, what the fuck are Chelsea? Because like, I think they obviously dropped a lot of points in their first, I don't know, 10-ish game weeks or whatever, when they should have. They had an easy run and everyone thought they should have won more games. But their underlyings were always really good, and I think some of the performances were really good, even when they didn't win. And now they've just had like nightmare performances against Man United, demolished by Man United, demolished by Newcastle. They had the Brighton win in between there, but it's a leap of faith to be like, okay, another good run. I think Raz is going to once again return the faith in the good run, because he really did in that early part of the season. He had the 2 hauls that made him one of the highest scoring players in the game in that early period of the season, just because of 2 massive hauls against Luton and Burnley.
Yeah, I think the manager might be a big issue here. I
don't know what the hell he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, we might just be seeing the last chapter of his career as we know it. He's getting the absolute least amount out of this group of players that I could imagine. Like, I feel like if I were managing the team, it would be just about the same as what's been happening. It's shocking. I mean, he's turning these players that we believe to be world-class into anonymous shitters. Like Caicedo doesn't know how to play anymore. Enzo
I don't know what the fuck happened to him.
I mean, Enzo looks worse than ever. I mean, last year when he came in, he was like a revelation, and you can see
midfielder in the fucking
he's
world.
One of the best players I've ever seen. And now, I mean, he's getting through games, but he's certainly not bossing or dominating or influencing them like he was last year. I mean, this is just, and now he's a Mudryk fetishist all of a sudden, just giving him starts again, which is absurd. And he won't drop Tilv. Will not drop this player. He's the worst player, and he's the worst center back in the league right now.
Can't drop Tilv. Can't play Colwell at center backs. Those are 2 non-negotiables for Poch.
Yeah, there are a lot of bad decisions that are happening, and the tactical inflexibility. Like they don't do anything. I feel like they get outmanaged. Like they lose and they get outmanaged, and they don't make adjustments, and they just do. This is what we're doing today, and they do it over and over again, no matter what.
Yeah.
And
I do feel like there's a little bit of a like. Obviously he hasn't been working that consistently over the last few years, but it does feel like almost you're outdated. Like I see these all-out presses, kind of Klopp-y in the press, and then they're just getting sliced apart over and over and over and over again, and he doesn't adjust. But the first, I still hang on to the first, again, like 12, 11, 10 games of the season where I was like, okay, the performances aren't always there. They're not consistent. They're not supposed to be consistent. But the numbers are really good. There's something to build on. And Cuckoo back in a month, yada, yada, yada. And then they just completely fell off a cliff in the last, specifically 3. 2 out of the last 3. So I just don't know what the hell's going on.
It's a basket case. I mean, they're a basket
away
case
Everton
club.
is not as good as it seems, right? I mean, Everton are good. Dyche is a fucking genius. Dyche is actually just an incredible manager. He just is.
Right.
I mean, he just is.
I don't want to talk about this one.
He just is. It's a fact. But yeah, their next 9 are just, they should be good, right? I mean, it's at Everton, home Sheffield, at Wolves, home Palace, at Luton, home Fulham, at Liverpool stuff, home Wolves, at Palace. And legitimately, their worst fixtures at Liverpool, their next worst fixtures at Everton, and every other fixture is a fucking banker for them. Yeah. But are they going to play well? Who's going to start? Yeah, don't know any of this shit.
Don't know. Yeah.
So are there just no picks here?
Well, Palmer definitely still a pick.
Palmer's a pick.
Mostly because he's so cheap and he has the pens.
Cheap and on pens.
I still think Raz is a fine punt. I mean, when we're talking about all these players, which, like you're saying, which shit is least smelly kind of thing. No, we don't know what kind of performance they're going to have or what role Raz is going to have. And also the fixtures are really good. So maybe he'll spike one, and that'll be all you need to hang your hat on it. Defense, I think, is just no thank you whatsoever. They're a mess. I mean, the goalkeeper won't get dropped for anything. It doesn't matter how bad he is. They're a mess. Like Disasi, I still think Disasi was just a horrendous buy. I just still haven't seen anything out of this player that I think is good. I think he's just bad. They have so many issues in the defense. It's just too many to count. So, yeah, I think it's probably just those two. It's really just looking at Palmer and Raz.
Yeah, personally, I mean, obviously, listeners of the pod know this, but I love the Raz punt. As far as punting on these pieces of shit, who's the least stinky? I mean, Raz has the pedigree. He literally has 2 mega hauls this season that, like, these other guys we're talking about just aren't even capable of. And like, Gordon doesn't have a fucking 19-pointer around the corner. Palmer doesn't have a 16-pointer around the corner. None of these guys can do this. Raz can. He's been doing it for years. Good fixtures. He's still playing pretty well, I would say, even though he's like been shunted on the right. I think it's worth a punt, but like, again, I think the most important thing probably with which picker you're going to get is like, where are you going to use the money? What's the other worst 1 to 2 picks in your team? Who else is injured in your team? Who else is suspended in your team? Because most of the teams I'm seeing in our Discord are just like, I have no defender this week. And I'm like, that's bad. You should probably get a defender this week. Probably named Trent or Trips. So, you need the money most likely.
Yeah, like, why would you pick Bowen over Raz? That's crazy.
I agree. I do think that's crazy.
He's more expensive too. I mean,
that's fair. Where's the fucking money, Lebowski?
Yeah, really. All right, so I think we probably did enough of this. I mean, the other two, like, because when I was looking at, Trent, I was like, oh shit, I might have to get someone really fucking cheap. There were two.
How cheap did you go?
Yeah, 2 sub-5 guys that I spent more than 1 second looking on, and neither of them are McSauce. One is Lo Celso.
Yeah,
I mean,
he looks great.
Yeah, looks great. He's definitely playing himself into fitness. I mean, hasn't played for so long. He has issues for an FPL pick for sure. And also, he's 4'8", and he's going to be starting in this advanced role for the foreseeable future until Matto comes back with the good runway there. So you can't really go too badly there.
And he's just been great every game. I mean, he's just come in and immediately been great every game.
Yeah, he moves the ball. He's not an idiot.
Shots.
He doesn't give it away cheaply like other idiots on their team do. And
I think I know the other one, but go ahead. Is it Clivert?
Obviously.
Let's go! Let's go, Bob partner!
Yeah.
My cherries are buzzing.
Yeah, I think is a much worse pick than
much worse.
GLC.
He's an insane punt.
Yeah, he's an insane punt. And also, he's 4'6". He only plays an hour. No big deal. Plays 90 minutes in an
Banks
hour.
Cleans for fun.
Banks a clean for sure. But I mean, he's just, when you're looking in the sub five price bracket, you will not find too many attacking midfielders, and he is one of those. Yeah. If nothing else, he is very much one of those. Yes. Does he shoot? Does he assist? Leaves some to be desired. He has 1 goal, 0 assists on the season, but he starts. He's 4'6". That's all I'm going to say about it.
In him, which
somewhere.
again for somewhere deep inside of him. But for players at this price bracket, they don't have that, right? Like no player at this price bracket has as many non-penalty goals as Clivert has scored in top leagues around Europe.
Right.
So at least he has that going for him. And Bournemouth look good. I mean, Bournemouth, obviously, people know that their fixtures are good because everyone's buying Dom. But just their short-term next 4 at Man United, home Luton, at NFO, home Fulham. So if there's a time you need a punt, maybe you still have your wild card like me, and you need someone really fucking cheap to get Trent or whatever. Yeah, sure, go for it.
Yeah, their defense has also been really good lately. Somehow,
I mean, Iriola.
they've been playing bad teams, but
very happy
sort of,
that. Yeah.
Not really. I don't know. Their defense has been good.
And they turned it around. Big
yeah,
time.
well, he's kind of like, he dropped Kirkez for a while, and then he brought, Adam Smith, the economist, back in, and by all accounts, he's been playing well. And I don't know, I do like Neto. I feel like he's a good keeper.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's competent, and ever since they really settled on this team, they've just been way better. This like front six. I mean, he's kind of been in and out a little bit with the fullbacks, and they lost Aarons, which maybe is a blessing in disguise. I don't know. He's kind of dumb. I don't know. He like his football IQ. When I watch him play, I feel like it's like kind of leaves something to be desired.
Career for that guy so far.
Yeah. But no, I mean, this front six, like with Cook and
Semenyo,
dropping Billing.
dude.
Yeah, Semenyo's been good. But like dropping Billing seems to be great. So they're going well right now.
Yeah.
They're going well right
good.
now. Yeah.
They look good. Let's talk about Trent. D said Trent in ? Phoenix said, is Trent worth the extra money from Trips if you had to go buy one of them? And Berbatov said, what indicators did I miss that would have led to Trent points over the past 4 game weeks? So, I mean, the points have been fucking disgusting from Trent. I mean, it's 12, 13, 8, 7 this last 4. Absolutely absurd amount of points. 40 points last 4 game weeks.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I mean, there are a few questions here. I mean, I think first is the indicators. I mean, do you see that, because we were nowhere near even talking about him before this 40.4 game. I mean, we started creeping in a little bit more after he scored the goal against Man City and stuff. But I mean, did we miss something here, or how are you seeing it?
I mean, we had the Friday of my life where I was talking about Trent. I think that, 2 of these 4 are just clean sheets are the majority of the points, which we knew was coming, right? Like people were buying Simicas. We were talking about Virgil for a reason, right? So that half of this haul, well, not really half the haul, but some of the haul is just cleans. Liverpool on a good run, underrated defense, probably. The other part of it we talked about on Friday My Life, where I was saying how he came from such lofty heights of when he used to just basically be right winger, overlap, monster, double-digit assists every year, that to come down to where he is now, where his numbers are still elite, but it's not in the same caliber as where he was, I think he's being a little bit underrated. But I mean, the truth is we still never considered it because of the price. I mean, that was basically, long story short, was just, all those things that I said were still true 4 weeks ago, but he's a million more than Trips. And, I just don't think it's worth it. So, I think the short answer is, we didn't miss that much. He was just really expensive. Maybe if I wild carded, in game week 10, 11, 12, maybe Trent makes the team. But for a normal team to get him, I just think it was basically impossible. I mean, it's almost as big a leap as, when did you wildcard? Game week 5, 6 or something like that, right? Whenever you wildcarded, a lot of other people were wildcarding to get Mo, and that was the main motivator for a lot of teams. That's the same price difference as going from I have a fucking Pau Torres and I want to make him Trent, to I have a fucking Rashford, worst pick in the game, and I want to make him Mo. That's the same amount of money. And it's just impossible really to find that without a -8 quadruple move. So I think that there was just no way to get him. There's this, and I still might not be a way for me to get him.
Yeah, I mean, he also banged a direct free kick goal in the Fulham game, and the Man City goal was pretty random, a really
it was just
unusual,
a great run and a great goal, yeah.
But an unusual sequence for him to score a goal. That's not something he does really. So I mean, you do have to get a little bit of the rub of the green for that to happen in successive nature. But with Sheffield United though game, it's he just got an assist on a corner kick and he got a 12-pointer. Like we remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, that's a normal trend.
Yeah. So, and like Soboslai played the whole game too. So, maybe there's, but now, we're saying the price, but now he has these points in the bank. He does look in fine fettle. I mean, is he worth 8? Like how priority, like, I guess compared to Trips is reasonable. I mean, I would obviously rather have him than Trips.
I don't know. I still don't even know that.
Very, very obvious to me at this point if I'm buying one of them.
$1 million's still a ton, though. I think that, like, yeah, it's easy to say that, but
much.
Like, I don't know. For like, just in my preliminary tinkers an hour ago, it was like the difference between a 3-7 player that doesn't exist in the game and a 4-7 player as part of my triple move. Well, that's your problem. That's a lot of people's problem.
But I can still say $1 million is not that much, which it is not.
It's kind of a lot, though. I think it is when you're going from insert horrible 4-point whatever pick to go to Trent. $1 million, makes a big difference if you're going to Trips instead. But listen, he's a good pick. I think another indicator, again, is like I mentioned this on the aforementioned Friday My Life episode, right? He was like top 4 underperforming his assists to expected assists, right? And it was just like he has good underlying numbers. People just aren't finishing his chances. And Bruno always leads the world in this because Man United are terrible. But, like Trent was right there. And we know that, his players will finish some chances, right? Like Liverpool players will finish some chances. It's the same argument that we always make with Alvarez, right? It's like he could be getting triple returns in all these games. He's supposed to because he's passing to fucking Foden and Haaland, but they're missing all these sitters. So I don't know what the hell's going on.
Starting to get like suicidal with Alvarez.
Dude, it's fucking. We need to get there soon too. Yeah. But listen, long story short, great pick, great player, best fucking thing in the world. I love him so much. I wish I had him so badly.
All right.
I don't know. I'm still not that sold that he's worth $1 million more than Trips. I mean, 40 points is great, but that's what he just scored. I'm not sure he has 40 more points in the next 4.
I'm sure he does not. And also, I think he's definitely worth $1 million more than Trips and definitely a better pick. So that's where I sit on that one.
Fine with that. Yeah. Other Liverpool questions. Solly said with Matip's ACL ruptures, Konate and fairly nailed Liverpool defender to pick over the likes of Simi, who may or may not play with Jomez rotation. Yes, Konate should start every game, I would assume. And Phoenix said Darwin, is it time to admit the guy needs to go? Maybe Solanke or Isak, maybe to Watkins if you want to get in earlier. What are you up to with Darwin?
He got an assist.
He fucking hauled this week.
He got 3 points.
Yeah, what the hell?
He got 3 times as many points as Ollie Watkins.
How could you be considering
Why would you
Ollie
sell
Watkins?
this player?
Yeah, that makes actually no sense.
Darwin is just the ultimate tilt monkey. I mean, I don't know what he does. Like, he just runs out there and just fucking does random ass shit. And
he's a
psychotic person. So, yeah, he's ridiculous. If you bought him and you watch him and you think he's the worst player ever and you want to sell him, go for it. No complaints there. If you don't have him and you want him, go buy him. You have fun. Good luck. GLHF. If you have him, I think it's a hold. I've been sitting here with my thumb up my ass really far now. I mean, it's in my stomach at this point. He just gets no points. A long ass time ago. I mean, he just gets no points. I'm sorry. Like, he doesn't get points. He's like Alvarez. I just sit here with the two of them. Yeah, he doesn't get points. His last 3-2-1-5-2. He had 10 at NFO. But I mean, 3-2-1-5-2 as a striker is that you're picking in FPL is pretty much as bad as you can imagine. A run of 5 games.
Not as bad as fucking Alvarez. Let's not get crazy here.
It's not as bad as one of the worst strikers in the game, but seriously though, I mean, when you have Luton, Brentham home, Fulham home, at Sheffield, it's like that's bad. So you could tell me a different story. XG, the chances, but I mean, we've been watching him for a long time do this. Is he Timo Werner? Like, is he going to be doing this in 3 years? I hope not. I hope he improves and stops missing everything, but he might continue to miss everything and be under his XG. Maybe he's Jesus, maybe he's just Jesus who doesn't who's more extravagant in his misses. I have no idea. But at this point, buy, sell, hold. Yes, any of them. Like any of them is fine.
Yeah.
That's how I see him right now.
Basically.
I don't know, do you have anything similar? Or?
Yeah, he's been
from FPL, not like, he's so good for Liverpool. Like, fine.
Yeah, for Liverpool, he's been great, which is important because I do think he'll retain the first choice, right? Like he just keeps coming in, doing exactly what Klopp asked for him, pressing, win the ball back, all this shit, hockey assist. I expect him to start at Palace. I expect him to start home United. I expect him to start home Arsenal. I expect him to start every fucking game at this point. He's just our best forward, just straight up. I mean, Gakpo comes in, gets 0 shots, doesn't really do much. I think Diaz has looked leggy. Darwin needs to play. And I think if he plays, points will follow.
I hope so.
Obviously been frustrating as an owner for sure.
You don't own him.
Well, but you do. I'm talking about you.
Okay.
Should we talk about Alvarez? I mean, Phoenix asking about, they have the blank. Should they be moved on? Shut Up Luke said, has City's recent poor form changed your perception on them from an FPL perspective? Ben said, do we sell Alvarez with the blank coming up? Hamburg, other side of the coin, says, should I do whatever hits it takes to get Haaland back in for his inevitable hat tricks in the next 2 weeks? I did not know that was inevitable, but maybe I'll captain him now. Haaland's just been missing sitters every week.
Yeah,
that's what he's been up to.
New sheriff in town. Haaland's just doing something else. Yeah,
he cannot score a sitter.
Yeah, not owning Haaland we don't need to spend time on that. I still think you're just completely hostage by the next 2 games from Jalv before the blank.
100% agree.
You just can't reasonably do that. And then
they're 2 easy games, ridiculously easy games, and they're 2 100% must wins. Dropping any points in these games is completely unacceptable with what just happened to City.
Yeah.
And he's involved in fucking every shot they take. He's involved. Whether he's hockey assisting, or taking the shot, he does all of it.
Yeah. We can have the conversation when the blank happens, I think, again about, now what? Because, just forecasting it, they do have a insane run of fixtures after that. I think we need the Kevin situation to
he was in the
clear.
Club World Cup squad. I don't know if that means fucking shit. Maybe it's just to get him a medal. Like, I don't know if it means anything.
No, who knows? But the literal minute Kevin is back, he's not a pick.
No.
So, that is contingent upon that. But other than Kevin coming back, I just can't imagine. The other thing is, who are you getting? Who is banging the door down that you need to replace Jalv with another forward? Ollie is the only one that has very consistently been returning points in the forward position all year.
And he has 2 nightmare fixtures.
Yeah. So, doing that now doesn't make as much sense. But, if that's the angle to, game week 18, just can't take it anymore with Jalv. If he gets 7 points in the next 2 game weeks, which is very possible, if not likely. Yeah, that's fine. Do that. But other than Watkins, who are you getting? You're getting some other fucking guy who's going to piss you off.
Ridiculous punt.
Yeah.
You're getting Solanke, who just cannot be involved in less goals lately. And it's been so frustrating owning him because they've ticked up in their form and he's just ticked out of involvement. I swear to God, they have 8 goals since I've owned him and he's been a part of 1, I think.
Yeah. Jesus is someone.
Yeah, there's Jesus, who again is at Villa and has at Liverpool in 18. Fuck are we talking about here,
Yeah.
He can't last over an hour also. There's aforementioned Darwin. You want to really punt, get fucking Nico Jackson. He has 3 good fixtures, but I just think we hold. I still just think you hold.
Yeah, DCL I think could be a
DCL. Yeah, home Chelsea at Burnley at Spurs, not bad.
Yeah. All right, man.
That's Jalv. Yeah, we do need to start considering the Man City blank and AFCON and Asian Cup and all that stuff. But right now, this second, they're at Luton Home Palace and they have to win.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot. It goes against everything I believe in to get rid of Jalv or even look at Haaland. You know, like, I can't even look that way. So what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Let's talk about some defenders.
Okay.
Jabroni said he's between Porro, Reese, or Stones. I think it'd be Stones easily if City didn't Blake in 18. Reese is Reese. Porro only for attacking. Are there better options I'm missing, or would you go with one of those three? It needs to be 5-5 or under. And then, other guys, just Ray asking about Porro. Alan Voldy said, is it time to move to Trips or Trent or down to Porro? And Beatty said, which defender under 5 mil is worth my time? Which I don't know if there's anyone worth your time at that price.
Well, Shimcast is still under 5.
Yeah. And he got his rest.
Yeah. What do you see in this defender bucket? I mean, we talked about Trips and Trent.
Yeah, we talked, and they're head and shoulders above this group, I think, because they have cleans and they have
Trips,
attack and they have bombs.
I don't know about Trips, man.
Really? I mean, he
gets
just
1 point
got
every
you
week.
a fucking mega haul.
Yeah, with 3 1-pointers in between. So what kind of a mega haul is that? He got fucking 15 points in 4 game weeks for me.
That's not bad.
It's not great. He's like the most expensive.
Great,
yeah,
but,
it's fine. I mean, it's like getting 2 returns in 4 game weeks.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like,
I just think it's fine, like
it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. You just hold him. You hold him with confidence, I think. But
he's another 4 yellow card holder. God damn it. That's gonna fuck me big time.
Tilt. That would never tilts you when your players get yellow cards.
He's at Spurs this week. It's coming. He's gonna miss home Fulham. That's what I'm
Yeah, your favorite player, BJ, is gonna run beyond him and he's gonna take him out from behind.
Rinsed.
Yep. Porro, great pick. But only a great pick because no teams keep cleans. Cleans are just way, way, way down with the added time and attacking managers and all the stuff we've talked about for 6 months now. And no team keeps cleans. I never, ever expect Spurs to ever keep a clean. They'll keep some randomly. But he's just an attacking monster. He's an absolute monster. An assist per game does not feel like he's overperforming what I expect him to do at all. With his corner deliveries, his open play deliveries, his crosses. He even sometimes just pops up tip of the spear and just like gets played in behind. Like that's what makes him a good pick, is that even in the games where they concede 2, he just pops up with a 5-pointer. I mean, he's literally 5-0-5-5-0 his last 5 games, 0 clean sheets in that time, 3 assists. Like that's who he is. That's who you're buying.
I mean, he's basically replaced Madison with chief creative attacking
100%.
role officer on the team. Everything you see of him has dramatically increased once the games Madison's been missing. So I still don't love him as a pick as much as you at all, just because I think it's even more pronounced, like the inability of this team to keep a clean sheet, especially like with Van de Ven out, and they just look messy and sloppy, and they're not set up to clean. So I still don't love banking on, he has to get an assist or it's a 0 or a 1, more realistically, which it's just the baseline is so low. I just don't like it. I just think
the recent fixtures also color this a little bit, right? So their last 5 are home Chelsea, where they got 2 red cards, and just that's a joke. That just wipe that away. I don't even know what that game was. Away Wolves. Tough clean. No one keeps a clean there. Home Villa, away City, home West Ham. I mean, those are none of those are bankers, right? Like I don't expect them, even with the full cast, to keep it clean in any of those, really. The question is if like at NFO, home Everton, home Bournemouth, 3 of their next 5 coming up, like can they do the stuff they did earlier in the season where they're just 70% possession, that team never gets out, that team never really gets a sniff. That's the only way that they could clean. I don't know if they can do that, with a lesser 11. But
I would be
that's what you'd be betting on.
Yeah, I'd be happy to just watch rather than buy to find out at this point. I mean, I think Liverpool is a really good place to go. Still, especially with Konate, he's a donger.
He is a donger.
I mean,
I think
Stones
he has no dongs, but he's still a donger.
Yeah. Stones, it's just with the blank, it feels really untenable to buy right now.
team dependent.
If you can absorb
kinda.
it. Yeah, I mean,
like
if you only have Haaland or something, then you could probably go there. But I mean, they haven't been cleaning, and they might start cleaning. They should keep 2 cleans coming up.
and their next four is at Luton, home Palace, blank, at Everton. Okay, that's a tough clean. Home Sheffield. I mean, in what world is that not minimum 2 cleans in the next 4? In the next 5 game weeks, I guess technically. Yeah, but if you only have Haaland, meaning no Jalv, obviously everyone's getting rid of Bumo, so you have no other Brentford. I think it's okay, but like I also don't know what. I haven't seen many teams that can also absorb that defensively. Like teams are not defensively deep right now in FPL. Like there's a lot of teams that have like Bayer and Kabore as their 4th and 5th, or they have Simicas who might not start any game there. They have a Villa guy, or like, so it's like, also, who are you playing in that blank?
Yeah.
Or do you even have a player for that blank?
Yeah.
Makes it maybe a lot worse.
It depends. It depends for sure.
I definitely want him because I expect them to clean those games, but yeah, I don't know if I can handle it.
Yeah,
my team.
It's also you're also not going to be like, oh, of course Stones plays every game. It's like
right. He's not even nailed every game, and then there's Reese, who also is a fucking joke, and also
dude, fuck him. It's ridiculous. We got to stop asking. We have to stop taking questions about him. He's not a pick. He can't even stay fit when he gets a red card ban. Like that's what this player is. Yep. He just did that. He literally
immediately
just did that.
Gets a ban. Immediately has knee pain in training and can't fucking play.
Just forget it. Fucking get out of my face. Forget it.
And
it's
he's
ridiculous.
so lucky that Garnacho'd all over himself before. He would have just had a nightmare. Fucking
Speaking of
play, also.
I do feel like Bournemouth is a cheeky shout, honestly. I mean...
for a defensive pick.
Yeah. Dude, they've been fucking tight as shit. They haven't been giving up much of anything.
Yeah.
I mean, they're more of a rotational piece, but I mean, this is the sub 4-5 bracket. And also, dude, Slab is just a fine pick. Like, he's 4-3. He's a donger and an own goal donger. He gets his
head on so much that, like, good for Bones, good for a flick on assist, good for a goal here and there, which is just huge.
Yeah. I mean, he has 2 returns already this season, 2 assists already this season. And I mean, it's just at 4-3 or not. What are you expecting? And, you know, I mean, they don't really have very good fixtures coming up, but it's just, again, 4-3. So there are definitely options. I mean,
you're going to...
And there's still Arsenal and Newcastle. So it's like...
Well, what are Arsenal though? I mean,
they're fine.
They can't fucking clean for shit.
I know.
And then they have at Villa, home Brighton, at Liverpool, home West Ham next 4.
Dude, they do this shit, dude. They are fine. They will be fine.
Yeah.
Blip. I mean, the Luton game was not performance commensurate with shipping 3.
No, not at all.
Crazy, dude. The Hatters just get they put hats everywhere, and they just misdirection. Yeah. You don't know what's happening. And you know the Wolf game, like they are still an elite defense, and the results were bad the last couple. And I expect them to just be fine over the long term. I think I think at this point, checking the results is just not helpful for them because they're going to be inconsistent. They're going to clean games you don't expect them to clean, and they're not going to clean easy home bankers because, I mean, we've seen at least 50 games worth of Arteta doing this thing. So I don't need to keep checking to be like, oh, it's something new. You know, it's just they're good. They're fine. They're not even that expensive.
They do all the right stuff. Raya is not the worst keeper in the league. He'll fucking figure it out. They'll be fine.
Yeah. Newcastle, dude, the away shit is very, very, very concerning.
And they are
you keep saying like Trips is great.
Close
Trips,
to the edge.
It's not great. Like they're not great when they have won one game away literally all year. It's almost halftime of the season, and that was Sheffield. Like it's a problem, dude. It's a huge problem.
Still think Trips is fine.
Not fine.
I think it's just steady hold. But I was going to throw in one other shout who I know you're going to hate this, but I still think if you're shopping in the Bournemouth and Slab price bracket, Colwell's got to be in there. Starts every game. They have an insane run for like 10 game weeks. You just gotta think, okay, Poch is gonna figure something out. Caicedo's not this bad. Enzo's not this bad. Their defenders aren't this bad, and they'll figure something out and keep some cleans in this run. I mean, I think it's worth a go.
You can add his name. I would never advocate.
Yeah, he's good.
Individual players. They have a lot of individual good players. Yeah. They're not a good team.
Yeah. We have other questions. What are we?
We're
fucking over an hour.
Yeah, I think we should try and
1 day to listen. Yeah, let's just fucking skip the questions. Sorry, guys. There's just no time. It's almost deadline already. Who are you capping? Haaland?
Darwin.
Are you for
Darwin
real?
Cap? Yeah. Dead ass, $1,000,000%. I'm on Darwin.
You used to be never cap against your team.
I fucking hate this team.
Wow.
I will cap against them as much as possible from this point forward.
Wow. Not Haaland.
It's just, fuck him, dude. Fucking Haaland. Dude, they're going to go to the Hatteries and get destroyed.
Fuck I'm on Haaland.
Yeah, of course you are. It's Darwin, dude. It's going to be early kickoff, lore breaking. I cannot explain or tell you how fucked up Palace is right now and how much of a disaster we are.
Yeah.
I mean, Lutonites, all they've done all year is strong togetherness, gritty, tough performances. And I just expect it to be pretty much at home.
They just got fucking annihilated by Arsenal.
Yeah, but they almost got points.
I know, but I'm just talking from a captain against perspective. They conceded 4 goals to Arsenal.
Yeah.
And then City in a must win. I'm okay.
I mean, that game was that could happen again, obviously. But I feel like Luton are better than us right now. I don't think that's a conversation. And I just feel like City are kind of fucked up. I think City are kind of fucked up. They definitely
are. I mean,
everyone's tired. I mean, they're at maybe past the bend don't break point. They might be.
Well, Rodri's back. Jack is back. Yeah, Stones is back. I mean, these are not just like, oh, that's fine. Like that's humongous for them. They badly needed these players. Doku might be back. Like, so that's huge.
Yeah, and I mean, Bill could use a rest. I mean, honestly,
Jesus Christ, he could use a fucking rest.
I mean, he's subbing him because he also could probably use a rest if he could afford to.
He was not at it. Yeah.
But I mean, Darwin just not starting. Like, I love to see that. And yeah, I mean, City not taking a shot after 10 minutes in the last game. I'm just like, I mean, it's likely that they have a response and they go to Lutonites and are just like, watch this, guys. But also they could just go and, like they did to Sheffield earlier in the season, where they
barely
missed a couple of their good chances, which they've been doing lately, and then they almost lose the game, or they almost drop points in the game.
Haaland missed a pen.
I mean, they're on 4 straight non-wins, and I'm just feeling the Darwin action this
weekend. Are there any
weekend.
other shouts? Just looking at the fixtures.
I think Mo is a shout as well, because
he's been playing kind of badly though.
Yeah,
he
plays bad
quiet.
and.
He sometimes
kind of
plays bad against tons of
all
points.
year. Yeah, I think he hasn't had very many games where you're like, oh wow, Mo is the best player in that game. Like, that's been very rare this year. No, but I mean, you don't have to really look too much further, right? I mean, you have number 1 and number 2, or top 2 of the top 3 teams playing 2 teams that should be in the relegation zone.
And Arsenal's at Villa. You can't consider that.
No, of course not.
Yeah, I think it's basically that.
I mean, everyone's gonna be on Haaland, obviously.
I think so.
Yeah.
The Darwin picks make sense to me. I mean, it would be absolutely shocking if he doesn't start. I think everyone in the world is like, the side was weird and rotated against Sheffield. Didn't really work that well. The better guys came on, made a big difference. I think for sure. So you're looking at a good opportunity there.
It's hard to.
Any moves?
To really put into words how dysfunctional we are right now. And it looks like the players are giving up.
I know. I mean, I didn't watch the game live, obviously, but just watching the highlights is just like, it's like I've never seen Gahey do that. Like, what the fuck are they doing?
I think they're just fed up. And it's like there's no point. Like, there's literally no point every game. We're set up horribly and he won't play. Like, dude, we spent basically like a club record fee on this fucking Brazilian kid. He won't even put him on for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck?
Most importantly, in a season where relegation is impossible.
Well,
like if there's any season to like play some young guys, see what you got, it's this season. And yeah, he just won't fucking play.
He's putting Chris Richards in
Chris Richards new CDM. Let's go.
It's really bad. I mean, we're gonna have Klein and Ward as fullbacks after Ward just. I mean, this is the third game in a week for Ward. Like,
I like it, dude.
I mean, we subbed Richards over there we played right. I mean, we took Ward, we put Richards, but we're just blown out of our ass. We're a mess. So I think we're going to get fucked at home and the crowd's going to turn on Roy and he's going to go fucking tell us that we don't deserve to win.
Maybe I'm going to listen to you and go, Mo, honestly.
I would not recommend that, but
really?
Do.
Wait, you just talked me into it and then you're saying I'm not recommending that? Okay.
Well, I mean, it's not smart from FPL game playing, I don't think, right?
Too risky, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just way too risky.
Yeah. What about who are you going to do for Buma, or you don't know yet? I mean, we still have tomorrow live stream. Oh, you already did? What did you do?
I just did Saka. I was like...
Yeah, I mean, if you can, easy.
Yeah. I mean, I had to take a hit either way because I asked you earlier, like Saka or Trent. So
yeah.
Basically, the reason why I didn't get Trent was that I would have been punting big time on that attacker. Like it would have had to have been, I think, Lo Celso. And that didn't feel great. Like as a starter,
and that's a starter. Yeah, that's brutal as a starter.
Yeah, that
what
just
is Lo Celso's 4'8"? Yeah, that's fucking brutal.
It just felt really, and I didn't want to take like an extra hit to still get a guy that I'm punting on.
Yeah,
So it just made more sense.
Makes more sense. I like it.
Yeah. So and I mean it. And
Arsenal have been stepping up since we made fun of how bad they are and how they never attack. I mean, they've been scoring goals. Saka's been looking better. He's taking guys on. He's taking shots. So back to normal.
Yeah. And I mean, he's similar to like with Palmer. Just it's a little bit in a different context, but he gets points every week, and I just sit here. I'm just like, oh god, like
ticks every box, just like Palmer. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, getting rid of him was probably just a mistake. In hindsight, I mean, starting with him was obvious, and then getting rid of him was obviously stupid, I think. So, rectify that one, get him back in, and just throw my hands up in the air. So I mean, I took a hit, which whatever, I don't give a shit. But I mean, my team, I guess, is in good shape, and I'm really just putting a lot of chips on Newcastle and Arsenal cleans. I mean, hopefully it works. I'm not confident, but
yeah, it's fair.
That's just where I put my team. So
I have two frees. Yeah. I have money in the bank. I still have no fucking idea what I'm going to do. I mean, Gahey is very likely leaving my team. Maybe also Powell leaving my team. I still think my attack is just good. I have 8 good attackers. Probably going to be Palmer on the bench again, unless there's actual Son injury news, which might be a thing, but don't know. But
so you're just doing one and floating again?
Possibly, yeah. I just need to figure out a defender, unless I want to go up to one of the expensive guys, and then I need to find money, do a double move. It gets more extravagant. I mean, in a weird way, I'm like, if Son's injured, not mad. 2 frees, I get to do Son out to fucking no one, put Palmer in every week, get any defender I want in the fucking game instantly. Maybe I should look at that in general, but I don't know. As of right now, don't really know. Just a defensive move is all I know. Because Powell's on Arsenal, he's on Liverpool.
Because you could sort of just shrug and kind of push it out more or less the same for a little while, and that might be really bad. But
might be horrible.
Yeah. I mean, you need to, I think, really commit to like, what am I doing? Like, am I targeting a specific player? Or?
Yeah, the one thing that I do know in terms of like plans, and I need to sort of like reverse engineer backwards, this is like, I gotta get Ollie in game week 18. I just simply, and that's the blank week. he's fucking home Sheffield that week, best fixture in the world. Then he's home Burnley 2 weeks later, then at Everton, then at Sheffield a couple weeks after that. It's just like, that's the time when I'm moving to Ollie. Am I going to move from Dom? Am I going to move from Alvarez? Like, don't know. Where am I going to get the money? Don't know. So I need to do a bit of planning, but I have fucking like 24 hours to do it. So I don't know where I'm getting that money yet.
Yeah, I mean, I know we were just talking a lot about Gordon, but I mean, he might be the least painful fundage, you know?
I mean, Sutton also is just like, he was fucking bad. He's kind of hurt. They're home Newcastle.
I know. He's leaving Asia soon. I know. It's just, that's one where it's just
I'm gonna get
pop
punished.
in with, I feel
he
like
could brace
that's
any game.
Yeah, I feel like you're asking for trouble with that.
100% agree. So, like, that's why I'm like, I sort of wish she's hurt only to make my life easier. Not because of anything against him or Spurs or whatever, just to make my life fucking easy.
I mean, or honestly, I mean, maybe it makes more sense to just do 3-5-2 and just do Jalv and Solanke. You know, I mean, those two guys to Watkins and a fodder, you know?
Yeah.
That's easy
like
money
that.
there.
Yeah. Yeah, I could do that. You know, it's hard with Dom's, next run. I mean, at Old Trafford is no longer a banker, but home Luton, at NFO, home Fulham, the three after that is just fucking insane. We'll see. I need news tomorrow, and I need more time
because you're also kind of stuck in this defensive hellhole.
Well, no, I'll deal with one of them this week. I'll deal with Gahey or Pau this week. The other will be third on my bench, and we'll go from there.
I mean, I think definitely get rid of Gahey if nothing else, because Pau has the 18 Sheffield United fixture.
Yeah,
right?
he has future good fixtures, and he's a donger. Gahey's just not a donger.
Terrible. Yeah, I think because you could just easily do Gahey down to any fucking person.
You could do Gahey to Stones.
Yeah, well, but you have to figure out the money. I don't know if going up makes sense, But
I know.
Maybe.
But I want a good player. That's the thing. It's like I don't want to punt on fucking back to Colwell. Hope Chelsea figure it out. I want someone who actually expect points from. Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is the issue too with you. I mean, if you do it, but having the eighth attacker, I mean, you're just you have $1 million on the bench every week.
Yeah, that's true. But he's also auto sub before. He'll auto sub again.
Yeah,
he'll get me points.
Just get Poro.
I could.
Just get your guy. Stop talking about him and just get him.
Yeah, I might do that.
Yeah,
I don't know. Need more time.
All right, dude. Well, you have one day, so
hopefully, exactly. Hopefully, people listen to this pod because deadline's in 24 hours. One new sign up, one new anus slap. Chris Howitt, get the fuck in there, dude. Welcome.
Can't believe
Thank you.
I have Branthwaite now. Fuck me, dude.
You
I don't like having. Yeah, I got him for the double move. I had to get some. Dude,
Everton are good, man. You're good.
I was 0.1 away from slabbing. Because
could have been a reuniting.
Dude, not having cash. And that's what's been holding me back. Now I'm going to really fucking show you how to FPL, baby. No more Polish players in my team. I love Polish people, except for their footballers, I like
the food, too.
Yeah.
But the footballers are all fucking frauds.
Yeah, I think my wife has Polish heritage. But no Polish football. Same with you, yeah. The footballers are just something else.
Fraudulent. Any last words, dude?
See you in the morning.
Check us out at FMLFPL.com. Follow us on Twitter at FMLFPL. Support Twitter.com/FMLFPL. Subscribe, rate, review.